For what is undeniably the best weapon in the game right now, there exist so many builds about Enduring Legacy, it becomes quite confusing on what the best setup might be for the gun. I've been playing with the weapon for a couple months, I have tried a few setups, and I come to the conclusion that the way to build Enduring Legacy is by testing what is most comfortable to you. My name is Wed, I'm going to show you how I build my Enduring Legacy and the reason I build it this way. The module setup will be on screen if you decide to take a screenshot while I'm explaining my reasoning for building the weapon the way you see on screen. In the First Descendant community, one of the biggest arguments about Enduring Legacy is between mental focus and sharp precision shot. I've used both and they both good on the weapon, but I prefer mental focus because I'm an old guy and I play on controllers. Sharp precision shot gives you a bigger buff, but the main thing is you need to keep holding the trigger to keep the buff going. And if you get interrupted in the slightest, you lose the buff. All in all, there is not much of a downside if you use sharp precision shot. It all comes down to how comfortable are you with using this module. As for mental focus, I don't have to worry about getting interrupted. You only lose your buff if you reload. But with the way I build my Enduring Legacy, the reload is not a problem. Speaking of the reload and the cancel animation trick, in case you didn't know, all you gotta do is, when you see the animation on screen for reload, wait till it gets to the halfway mark and roll, or use an ability. This will cancel the animation and put you at a full magazine. Just practice and you'll never have to worry about reloading again. In any case, when it comes to building Enduring Legacy, number one priority is to add the energy activator on the weapon for that 80 capacity. Now, let's talk about the stats. You should go after the stats that you like, but in order to switch the stats, you're gonna need the readjustment materials called Find Adjustment Control Axis. You can craft those at Ananias, and you can also get some from the daily event if it's available to you. Either way you see the stats that I have on mine, that's what I stick with, and I'm okay with this. Now, if your goal is to fight Colossus bosses, then obviously you need to roll bonus firearm attack versus Colossus. But for me personally, I build for general play, which means it's good for both Colossus or regular world bosses. To each his own, you do what's best for you. Now let's talk about the unique ability. I do think it's pretty straightforward. Add an element to the weapon such as fire, chill, electric, or toxic. You will inflict the debuff Quenching. If you hit an enemy that is taking burn damage, then your firearm attack is increased. Based on that, it makes perfect sense to add fire enhancement on the weapon for that extra damage. Now, you notice at base, before you enhance the weapon, you have a firearm attack of 7%. But once you enhance the weapon by 1, you then have an 8% firearm attack. This means when you fully enhance the weapon, you will have 11% firearm attack. That is a decent buff in my opinion. I still need to grind 3 more copies for mine, and it will be glorious when that happens. But now, I can't complain about what I got, because it's been carrying me for a while. In any case, let's talk about the modules that I use for my Enduring Legacy. You already see them. It is mostly the usual best in-slot modules that everybody uses. The difference is that I opted to go with Insight Support Ammo. That's for more rounds in the magazine. I am currently happier with 205 rounds in the magazine over the 170 rounds that most people run around with. The reason being is the fact that there were so many times when I was about to kill a boss and I have to reload and the boss goes immune, then you have to take the shield off of the boss all over again. So I decided to build mine Enduring Legacy this way. in an effort to minimize that dilemma. I know you've all been there. So for me, the bigger the mag, the better. Now, I don't want to go over every single module just to keep the video as short as possible. So I only highlight the important modules. Now, we already talked about mental focus. That's the one I use for this build. Edging shot is a solid choice. That -15 firearm attack is not a big deal. Fire enhancement needs no explanation, as it synergizes pretty well with the weapon's unique ability. Now, one thing to note that the weapon comes with a rutile socket. You can make use of it by using fixed shot. And I used fixed shot for a very long time. It is not a bad option in my opinion. But I think adding a C socket is the best option for me. I just thought I would mention that about the module socket that come with the weapon. Other than that, guys, that's all there is to it. You just need to try different setups to see what works the best for you. Now, I highly encourage you to try the setup I have here, and I'm sure you will like it. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.